It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
So what did that first mobile home transaction look like for you?
Man, we saw over 40 houses before we got that first one. And we saw some stuff that, what I love is like when you kind of do traditional real estate, you see mobile homes, even you see a bad one, you're like, oh, I can fix this. Like this is no problem. But the ones it was the perfect deal, honestly. Sharnice had contacted a gentleman that was a park manager, and he said he had two houses he wanted to show us. And when we got in there, one house was 6,500.
Yeah, one house was 6,500. The other one I think was 1,500.
Yeah, and so we was like, we want them. We saw him, was like, oh, we need these. And he was like, throw me a number. And I know Sharnice had told me to tell him 4,000, but I was just like, I don't want to insult him. How about 4,300? And he said yes. And we was like, for two houses? He's like, yes. We was like, oh yeah, this is it right here.
Yeah, but I told him he would have went for that 4 too though. He would have still went for that 4,000. But no, yeah. We ended up getting them two homes for 4,300, and then we ended up selling both. So the first home we sold for 9,500. So that was 3,700. Let me go back. It was move-in ready. So the cool thing about that deal is that we didn't have to do anything. It was clean. The park had just cleaned it. We didn't have to do anything but just market it and sell it. So we ended up selling that one for 9,500. And then the second one.
And the second one was the $500 home, because it came out to $500. We put $3,000 into it. It was all in $3,500. We sold that one for $10,000. That was our first two deals. So we knew it was like, okay, let's try to do this every month.
Yeah, because at the time I was working here in the city of Chicago at the gas company, and my salary was right a little bit under 40. So you're talking about I had made 19.5 in a month's time, and that was like half of my salary at the time. So that's what really opened up my mindset to be like, wow, this is something that I really need to continue to do, even though I have this, this mentality of a 9 to 5, but wow, this entrepreneurship, this is a whole new wave. So.
For sure. Wow. So you were able to taste some success pretty early on. And I think that's really cool. What, like going into that, just knowing that you hadn't done it before, what did that feel like? Just trying to buy them and then market them and sell them. What did it feel like during the process? Like before you reached the ultimately, flip those two properties?
Yeah. So for myself, man, it was like a sweet fear, because I had already, like, I went through the fire. Like right before that, I had nothing else to lose. Car repo, I was broke. Credit was at the time probably like a 500. I didn't have anything else to me that I'm like, I can lose other than my life. And I knew I wasn't going to die from this. So it was definitely like that sweet fear, because it was still unknown, but I was just so eager to just be like, kind of prove like, yo, this is what all this hard work, all this time, I know we're going to make this happen.
Yeah. For myself, I would say it was like a shocking feeling. Like, I was shocked. Going through the process, and even when we flipped it and just seeing the amounts that we was getting, like it was a shocking factor, because I didn't know anybody else that was doing anything like this or any type of entrepreneurship, except for when I met Byron. He was the only person in my life that was doing something like this. So, and even some of the stuff that he was doing prior to us coming together and doing mobile homes, like, of course, I've always been supportive, but in my mind, in the back of my mind, I always had that, this is unbelievable. Like you can't be making money like that. Like, is this legit? Is this illegal? Like, thinking like that. So, yeah, for myself, it was really just a shock factor. Like, wow, like, yeah, this is real. Like,
for sure. So you had the first taste of success, and how did that grow from there? I know you mentioned you were like, you know what, let's see if we could do this once a month. So talk to us about how things just continue to grow from there.
Yeah, so the scaling part, the next month our next deal, we have found another home, $3,000. In Indiana, and we ended up putting that on for terms. So we were getting like $428 a month for that one. Then we still had profit. Then we turned around. We went back to our original park, and then we ended up we basically almost got a buy one get one free home. That we were going to get a home. Park manager was given to us for basically $2,000, And really it was because it was helping a lady out. So then she's like, hey, I got another house. I like what you guys did. Have this free home. So we got another free home. And from there, that's when we opened up our eyes. So we set our goals, like we want to do four homes a month now. Let's go ahead and scale this. And then we start meeting people in the industry that start giving us more tips on how to really scale and make it systematic. And, you know, I would say we hit that 4. And, you know, I think when we slowed down a little bit, once we started, we was like, we got to teach this. Like, we was like, we got it. I love what we're doing, but people got to hear about this. And, you know, I feel like we're going to be blessed just by teaching this. But, you know, that the 4 homes a month slowed down to, you know, the 2 to, you know, but it was still good because people were still getting great deals. But, you know, once we start to, you know, focus on teaching people, it was just like the amount of deals, the amount of opportunities just opened up so fast.
Wow. And I love that. You know, there are some people, they get put onto something and they kind of just keep it to themselves. And I've seen just in following you all, like I follow you two very closely, and you just give so much, you know, from the lives to the webinars to honestly a reasonably priced course. Someone could make that money back definitely on their first deal.
Yeah.
So for me, I've noticed just the giving. And I don't think it's a coincidence that because of that, deals come your way and you're able to still succeed and prosper. So I think that's a really great thing that you noticed just so early on. This is something that, you know, we want to teach people.
Are you looking for a community of like-minded individuals and access to experts in real estate? Yeah. Are you interested in real estate but need more support and guidance? You know who it is. The Black Real Estate Dialogue presents the Real Estate Investing Community. No matter how much or how little real estate experience you have, we've created a community for you because your perspective is important. All right, tell me, where's the #1 place where you can do Q&A with experienced guest speakers 2 times per month? How about unlimited access to past guest speakers' recordings? What about a private Slack channel to engage in daily discussion with everybody in the community to share resources and support each other? Head on over to blackrealestatedialogue.com. That's blackrealestatedialogue.com. It's the real estate investing community presented by the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Come join us today.
Mobile homes. Almost everybody, unless you grew up in a mobile home community or exposed to that through, I don't know, people you know, or maybe who you know live in those communities, they always have a negative connotation. People always look at them negatively. That's just how we're socialized. And as of late, within our community, people are now realizing that it's an investment opportunity. It's an investment play. And so how in the world did you get into mobile homes? Like how it's not common. So how did you even get exposure to it? Talk to us about that.
I know. You know what? It's not common, but what's so crazy about it, it is like one of the biggest billionaires out there, Warren Buffett. He owns like 2 to 3 mobile home parks. So it's like, how is this not common? You see what I'm saying? Basically, literally a couple of years ago, I was at a barbecue, at a pool party barbecue. And basically I met a realtor there. I met a realtor / investor. And he was just going into the spill. He was like, listen, you want to purchase these assets. You want to do this and that. At the time, he was purchasing apartment units. I've never heard of that. Apartment units. And he was telling me you can get them for the low, 15,000, 20,000, you know, get a tenant in there. It was crazy. So I was like, ooh, I wanted to dive more into it. So I went home that night and I was just like diving into like the web, books, everything. I was just reading up on this for like literally 6 months straight. And I thought primarily I was going to just go ahead and go into traditional real estate because that's really what piqued my interest. Mm-hmm. And I so happened to come across a webinar, and it wasn't Mobile Home Elite Investors. It was just like some other random like webinar that I came across. And it was a couple of people. It was a lot of people in there. It's probably about 150 people in there. And they were talking about mobile homes. I said, mobile homes? I was thinking the same thing you said. I was like, what the? No, couldn't be. So, you know, as I continue to keep on listening, it was like ladies were in the chat and they were like, hey, we're new to this space. Does anybody want to partner up? They were just dropping their cities. So like, it was like 6 to 7 women. They dropped Atlanta. So I was like, yeah, I'm from Atlanta too. You know, let's email each other. Let's partner up. And from there, basically we formed this group. We all kind of like got together in Macon, Georgia, which is probably about an hour and 20 minutes, hour 15, 20 minutes from Atlanta. Got together in Macon, Georgia at this park. And literally we stayed out in that park for 2 hours looking at all of the mobile homes. We were all unfamiliar. The property manager basically gave us a tour. The gentleman who owned the park, he came out to speak to us, and he was just basically just giving us the whole entire sauce on the mobile home communities, how people really invest in this, how it's such a big deal, how people make money. And from there, I was sold. I was like, I got to do this.
Wow.
It was just like an easier way to get into real estate with less money than going the traditional route.
Definitely. Did you say like you and the other women, you came together to like, and just wanted to like invest together, or came together and just was doing research together?
At first, we came together to do research and to invest together as a whole. But we ended up, purchasing our own separate mobile homes. And then some of the women in the group, they actually haven't even purchased a mobile home as of yet. They're still stuck in that, researching and haven't done anything. But everybody still kind of keeps in contact, but we never actually ever did a deal together.
Got it. So it seems like you were sold pretty early on. And so how did you go from skeptic to sold? Like what happened in between then that was like, all right, I know you mentioned the money part, but was there anything else that was like, all right, this is going to be a good next step for me? This is like what I'm about to do.
You know what got me to sold, once I said that, it was probably a week later. I had been researching mobile homes. He was telling us exactly what to do. And I got a tip off from one of the ladies that was in the group. And she said, listen, I'm already interested in 2 mobile homes. I'm about to renovate these. I can't do this third one. It's a property manager's mobile home. Can you just go out to Columbus, Georgia and just look at it, and see what happens? So I went out there just on a whim. I didn't think I was going to buy it on the spot, but basically I went out there, saw the property. The property was a nice property. It wasn't run down. And it just gave me like, once again, I'm thinking like old. I'm thinking, like people like just run down, when I'm thinking about mobile home parks. And so when I got out there and talked to her and her husband, and then they told me that, once you purchase the mobile home, it's as easy as me and you going to the tag office and basically signing over the title. And I was like, no closing costs? And she was like, no attorneys involved, no closing, just simple, easy. She was like, you either can flip it or you can easily get a tenant in here. We talked numbers. I got the price that I really wanted, and that was it. So, just the no closing, the no attorneys, the no fees.
It seems like It's a pretty seamless transaction.
Very seamless. And that's what sold me. That literally is what sold me.
Got it. It's so crazy because when you think about, let's just say a regular house, you got all these parties, right? Depending where you might have like a lawyer, you have different closing costs, loan origination, if there's a mortgage, all these different costs. But it seems like mobile homes is like pretty much straightforward, straight
to the point. It's pretty much, you have the negotiation and stuff with the seller and the buyer, of course, but other than that, you don't really have too many other hands involved, other than property managers and that sort, if you're buying in a park, but that's it pretty much. So
got it. So when you bought that first mobile home, was it within a park or was it one that was kind of like, I don't know the right word, was it like outside of a park, like a single, like a one-off kind of situation?
One-off. No, actually the first mobile home I ever purchased was in a park. So, it's a little bit different when you go into purchasing mobile homes that are on land. Mm-hmm. Your situation is kind of moving into the traditional real estate sector. Got
it. So what was it like just like going in a park and trying to figure out what you want to buy? Like, did you kind of do your own marketing? Were they like, oh, this is for sale online? Like how was that process like for you?
Well, the process, like I said, I got the lead, which was great, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of people are not just going to get leads, and it's like, kind of like, if you're not going to get a lead, you got to take the route of, like what you're saying, either marketing your services, saying that obviously you're looking to purchase mobile homes, or, you're just scrolling on all types of social media, all types of different platforms to search for people who's selling mobile homes. Also, just like traditional real estate, they call it driving for dollars. Same thing with the mobile homes, obviously roll around in a few mobile home parks looking for sale by owner signs. It's all kind of like the same style, what you have to do, but you do have to put in obviously some work to get the house. And then what you want to do is, of course, start networking with people, start networking with a lot of property managers, and just basically building up, your name, so they'll know to contact you when they have something. So.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what was the play? What was the play after you purchased that property? Was it like a flip? Was it something that you ended up holding? Like what was the strategy when you bought it? And did that change like at any point after? Did you kind of go through whatever you had planned?
So the strategy, I was initially wanting to flip it because, you're only working with a limited amount of money. Once you buy into that, it's kind of like you flip it, you have more money to work with to go ahead and put into something else. So that was my original plan, but it didn't turn out like that because the thing is, this was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. There are so many people looking for 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Okay. I mean, they will knock your door down literally to get it to a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So I was like, you know what? This is like, everybody wants this. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to hold on to this and then just literally put them on terms, do the seller financing option, because when you're just doing straight out rental, you are responsible for the maintenance. And with the seller financing option, which is, you're not responsible for any maintenance. You have them on terms, and it's basically like, they know that the house is theirs. At a certain point, the title is going to get handed over to them. So that's what I ended up doing. And literally, I mean, that house sold in probably like a few days after I listed it. I mean, people were calling me from all over, like, and I got a good family in there now, and I have had no issues with them. So, and that was my first one. Yep.
Wow.
It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in.
Hi everyone, Sam here from the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Make sure to hit that notification bell and that subscribe button, and to visit us at blackrealestatedialogue.com.